Okay. Well, good evening to everyone. We've got quite a few people on tonight. Well, that's great. That's awesome. I'm Melissa Brady, and I'm your Valley View POA president. And we've got a lot going on in the neighborhood, and so I hope I can get finished and get through all of this. But first, I'm going to let Dom, who is our treasurer, I'm going to let him go through the financials real quick, and then I'll get started. Guy Smith is not with us tonight. He's our vice president, and he's on a very nice vacation. So good for him. And so I will tell you that wherever he is at, he woke up this morning and it was 44 degrees. So he's enjoying the cool weather wherever he is at. So, Don, you want to get started on the financials and just kind of give everybody a brief update on that?
All right. Let me share my screen. All right. Be able to see the QuickBooks,
That's fine.
Melissa?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you'll just share our banking account balance and our CD balance, we can.
So as of right now, our bank balance is sitting at $58,632. The sterling CD is sitting at 109.8 thousand, so roughly 110. Currently, P&Ls for this fiscal year so far is $28,000. Looking at a cash flow of $58,632 a year within the last 12 months. And then currently looking at $28,000 in overdue invoices. This includes everything from dues to fines to anything in between that has not been paid by the due date. So our expenses for fiscal year 2025 are $33,459, which is down 67% from this time last year.
Okay.
So that's kind of a brief overview of what we're seeing. And if anybody has any further questions, I'd be more than happy to break out after this meeting.
Okay, awesome. Sounds really great. Well, I definitely want to leave enough time for all of our residents that are on tonight to ask questions because we've had a lot of Facebook activity and a lot of questions that have come through. And I want to make sure that I address all of those. So let's get started. The very first question that popped up on Facebook, and it was a question. It was a question that was raised about property values being a top priority of the Valley View POA. So I'm going to go through what does that really entail. We know that your home is a major investment, and and you want to either maintain the value or increase the value of your home. So this is important, especially in these days at the home prices that are out there. And hopefully the latter, you want to increase the value of your home. So purchasing a home that is part of a POA can be an excellent use of your hardworking money. A POA is a huge asset when thinking about the future. This week, actually, I had several conversations with realtors because we have several homes in Valley View that are for sale, and I have been getting inundated with phone calls from realtors, and I'm really glad because they were asking about our covenants, they were asking about our neighborhood, and they were very positive conversations because they indicated that people were really looking in this area in Valley View for a home. So how does the POA actually affect property values? Well, first of all, it's the maintenance of the community. So this is what we do. We maintain the community. We use the dues that you pay for repairs to maintain and to replace amenities. We govern the community and we enforce the rules and regulations to keep the property values up. When people buy into a POA, here's what they don't think of. A house in a POA community can actually, they sell for usually 5 to 6% higher than a house that does not belong to one. We actually have a couple that bought a home, and I had a conversation with them last week in Valley View, and they said they bought specifically in Valley View because it had a POA, and they came out of Fayetteville and they bought out here. So what we do is purchasing a home that's part of that POA guarantees the continuing beauty of your home and your neighborhood. So when you buy into neighborhoods, a lot of times you'll notice that, after, 20 years and you go back and you look at them and they don't look so good. That's simply because it's not been maintained in such a way. So what is the responsibility? I've given you our responsibility. What is your responsibility as a homeowner? As a homeowner, here's what you can do to help property values stay high. And these are just a few. You can focus on the curb appeal. Limiting to how tall your grass gets, keeping your landscaping free of weeds and overgrown plants, trimming trees and branches, removing litter and clutter, and just repairing your home to any kind of visual damage or upkeep. Staying just informed about the POA rules and regulations. If you don't have a copy of the covenants, they're all online. Everything is online. We put everything digital thanks to Garrett Watson, him and his wife. They put everything that we have in a digital format, and it can all be accessed through Valley View Estates, POA.com, and you can look at that. Actively attend your POA meetings. We have on our website, we have a communication board. It's the info board on our website. If you want to ask a question, all you do is go to the website, type in your information, ask your question, and you'll get a response within a day or two. And we've tried to really to do that. I've never had a complaint in 3 years of not getting a response in a timely manner. Suggest improvements. That's what you use that info page for, is suggest improvements. As the POA, we're just 4 people and we can't see everything. But if you see something, this is where you do self-reporting, and you go through that and you report it, and then we hopefully take care of it. And then more than anything, we have an excellent ARC committee. It's headed by Eric Reed. And it's important to familiarize yourself with your architectural guidelines. What can you do, like building, a shed or something around your home? He is an architectural engineer, and he knows our guidelines, and he is quick to respond to you. And if and you send your plans to him, and he it's either a yay or a nay according to the covenants, and then he sends you an approval letter. That way you have documentation. There is nothing in this neighborhood that is grandfathered in. You could say like a mailbox is grandfathered in, but if you do not have documentation, then it's a moot point. You have to have documentation. So that's what he provides for us, and he does an excellent job. Now, the next question. So we've covered what property values are, our responsibility, your responsibility. Now let's go to drainage on East Creek. Okay, there was a lot of questions when we were having all of the rain and everything. I want to explain the drainage on East Creek, because a lot of people are asking. And this will also cover the drainage on Riviera Estates. the same issue that plagues East Creek plagues Riviera Estates. Now, a few years ago, the city of Farmington went in with an engineer to see what could be done. The plan, they actually had a plan to fix it. They were going to build a large swale, which is a sort of like a very large ditch, behind the houses that back up to a very large field. However, they ran into a sticking point. And what it was is that the property owners of that large field and several of those houses that run along there that face Highway 170, they would not give their permission to disturb the land because it was their land. Therefore, the only recourse would have been to take the land by eminent domain, and that is very, very rare that a city will do that in these types of cases. So the drainage issue that was brought up in the Facebook post was 11778 Clubhouse. That was also addressed several years ago, or a few years ago. I actually spoke to the owners on the side of that this week. And the drain was cleaned out, and actually it was widened. And the drain itself, the pipe wasn't widened, but the land was widened. So the size of the drain was deemed sufficient for drainage for that area. Now, this particular drain was checked out this year with a robotic camera, and was cleared for drainage. So there was nothing in there that would have kept it from draining. Now, we know that there's a pond that lies on the golf course. And unfortunately, the city has been advised not to go on the land owned by the golf course owner, even though they know that repairs are needed. This is the sole responsibility of the golf course owner. So you see, the land in East Creek and in Riviera Place, when those subdivisions were built, they were not graded properly by the developer. And this is way before houses were ever put on that land. And so the land was not graded. That means that the water, we sit in a valley, and the water comes off of the mountain, and it comes in, and it has nowhere to go. So this land should have been graded and piped in a different way. However, it was sitting in the county at that time. It had not been annexed into the city. So therefore, and then they started building houses on it. So once they start building houses, that's pretty much it. After that, it becomes the responsibility of whoever buys that home. So if you have drainage issues and things like that, the only recourse is to put in things like, I talked to one of our residents in Riviera today, and they put in sump pumps and French drains that pump out into the street or pump out into the sewer. So they had to go in and fix it themselves. So that is not good news, but you can't undo a subdivision. I mean, we'd have to just level the houses and start all over again. And that's not going to happen. So unfortunately, it was not put in properly. Okay, so next topic is the new subdivision that's going in. Lots of questions on the new subdivision, had lots of phone calls. And it also ties in with property values. There will be a new subdivision constructed on one side of the golf course. It is the side of the golf course that backs up behind Iron Street and Double Bogey. It was approved for sewer taps through the city of Prairie Grove and the city of Farmington. Prairie Grove will give 20 sewer taps. Farmington will give 5, or will have to give, they were approved for 5 from Prairie Grove. The survey is being completed. Some of you have probably seen some drones flying around. That's the survey. The city of Prairie Grove had to have one because the property is being rezoned from agricultural to R1. The rezoning, you may want to mark this down if you want to attend. The rezoning meeting will occur on July 10th at 6 o'clock at the City of Prairie Grove City Council meeting. If you're interested or you have comments or you disagree with the subdivision going on. But let me give you some information. Now, let's kind of go to the POA watching out for our property values. Well, first of all, the POA really did not know about this until I heard from William Stevenson, who sits on Water Improvement District number 5. So I've been in contact with the city, the mayor of Prairie Grove. I've been in contact with Will Wynn with Washington County Improvement District number 5. I've been on the phone with the mayor of Farmington. I have called everybody. So I think I know what's going on. So there's going to be 25 homes built in that sliver of land. They're going to be half to 1 acre lot homes with a square footage starting at 2,500 square feet plus. They should be nice homes. Now, this should increase our property values in lieu of a defunct golf course that has no hopes of being resurrected. So this will be a good thing. The plat, if you're interested, has been posted on the City of Prairie Grove website underneath the Planning Commission if you want to see what it looks like. But this does not change our covenants in any way. I want to stress that. Our covenants are in place. And so the home should be nice. It's actually a developer out of Florida. It's a group of veterans that go about building nice homes in areas that are difficult to build in. So this should increase our property values. Now, let's talk about the property that lies, the golf course that lies behind Richardson Road, where the sewer containment is located. Okay. Now I know this is lengthy, but you need to hear this because you can go back and replay it because these are all the questions I've had. Now this land, if you look at it online, it's still pending as far as I know. Nothing has come through as being final. And I just spoke with Larry Ulrich from the City of Prairie Grove. He's their city administrator on this yesterday. So what we know about this area, it's even though it's Prairie Grove, it's going to be a little bit difficult to build some homes because you cannot build homes within 300 feet of a sewer containment area. And that would be almost all of that property. And you do have to have an ingress and an egress from a property unless it is a cul-de-sac. Now, Washington County Property Owners Improvement District number 5, that's the person that controls our sewer. They own a sliver of land off of Giles, and the Valley View POA owns the lot on Giles. And neither one of us is going to sell that land. Now, this is from Will Wynn. He's not going to sell to them, and we're not going to sell to the developer just so they can have an egress. So the City of Prairie Grove is still in communication with this person. So I want to tell you, this is still up in the air because the City of Prairie Grove is still talking to this person who wants to buy that land. So it's not a done deal.
Hey, Melissa, just to quickly clarify, that is not the land with the 25 homes. That's a separate piece of land, right? Just to clarify for folks.
Yes. It is the property behind Richardson Road where the sewer containment is located. Okay. All right.
Melissa, I have a question.
Okay. Can you hold your questions to the very end?
Okay.
And I will get to them.
Oh, and we only have 10 minutes, just 9.
Okay, I'm going to hurry. The dirt pile left down there on Riviera Place, left by Schuber Mitchell. I contacted the city because I was scared it was going to get blocked in because they're building homes like crazy. It's been moved and leveled out. we got that done. Demolition of the clubhouse. I received an email from Jay Moore on June 18th. The golf course owners have not pulled a permit to make repairs to the clubhouse. So the city attorney will have the raising of the clubhouse on the agenda at the city council meeting for July or August. And so I want you to know that. There was a question about junk pickup day. We told everyone at 2 POA meetings that this would not be something we would do every year, but would do periodically. It cost us $12,000 to hold that event. And I kind of made I used some words. I said, well, we have some big ticket items we need to be taken care of this year. Well, that maybe wasn't a good choice of words because everybody wanted to know what those big ticket items were. You have to keep up Valley View to keep the property values up. So let me go through and let me tell you what those big ticket items were. Okay, we replaced and updated the landscape lighting because all of the electrical lines were frayed. So that's done and completed. We are in the process of getting an entrance sign for the corner of Giles and Iron. We just got permission from the property owners. We're in the process of restoring the street poles and putting up new signs. We had to install a new irrigation system at Highway 62. We had to refresh the landscaping at Highway 170 entrance. We had to have trees removed and trimming was complete at Highway 170. Our plan that's still in progress is to remodel the gazebo, paint and power wash it. We're getting bids. We had to install new backflow devices to pass inspection this year, and they're pricey. We had to purchase new windows for the guard shack because they were falling out. And so they were 25 years old, single pane. And then we are getting a bid to xeriscape one island on Clubhouse Parkway because people have ran over it so many times that they have exposed the electrical cords and lines. Do not run over those islands. You can see the electrical lines. Do not run over them. Okay. I want to reiterate that Valley View Golf Course is private land. We've had people that have, I got emails this week of, trees falling, and that, it's the responsibility of them to, to remove any trees that have fallen. But if anything happens on the golf course and you're on the golf course, you're at your own peril because it's private property. We do not have, the golf course is not a common area, and those are not walking paths. Those are old golf cart paths that were left. Those are not, we're really not supposed to be out there. We have beautiful, nice paved streets to walk on, but you're not supposed to be on the golf course. Now, I can't stop you from being on the golf course, but you're at your own peril. Okay. All right. So please do not park on this street. Had several complaints this week. People that are parking on sidewalks, they're blocking the sidewalks, they're blocking mailboxes. The covenants say there's no parking allowed on streets in Valley View. We've been pretty lenient about this. If you have events, you have to park on the street. You have company over. We understand that. But if you have space in your driveway, please have them park in your driveway. Don't park on the street if you have your driveway completely open. And we are having a garage sale on July 11th and 12th. And I want to announce that Valley View, we're going to have the same weekend as the citywide. So Valley View Farmington residents, you won't need a permit, but if you live on the Prairie Grove side, you're going to need a permit. I'm so sorry. We asked, and they wouldn't reprieve it. The Farmington Fall Cleanup scheduled for Farmington. If you want a junk removal day, you can take all of your junk on September 26th and 27th to the location on Broyles, and they'll take your junk items for free. There will be a list posted on their website of things that you can't discard of, like paint and electronics. And so I just want to bring out I got to hurry. I want to bring up a couple of covenant updates. Please do not blow grass in the street. It's a city ordinance. If you have stumps from dead trees, they have to be removed. Overgrown trees. If you have trees in your front yard and they're lapping over the sidewalks, you need to cut them back. And overgrown landscaping with high grass that reaches 6 inches or more, that's included in a high grass violation. So I just want to point that out. Okay, let's do questions. First, somebody had a question.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, gotcha. I was just wondering what the official Facebook page is for the POA group, because there's a couple on Facebook and we weren't sure which one is the correct one.
Okay, Garrett, are you on?
I am, yes.
Can you tell them which Facebook page that the POA has a Facebook page, but then we have Garrett and Victoria are the administrators on the other Facebook page. Would you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, the simplest way is there's 2 pages. One is just the POA page. It's Valley View Estates POA. That's all it should say. It's actually just an organization page. So if you just type that into Facebook, it should be as is. The other one, the community page, it's administered by my wife, Victoria. It's more of a neighborhood page, and that's called, I believe, Valley View Estates Neighborhood. So the one that with the word neighborhood in it is the community page, and that's separate from the actual POA organizational Facebook page. There's also an older one called POA Members. That one is also used, but it's more of defunct, I'd say, a smaller page. So you could probably ignore that one if you're looking for the main 2.
Okay, so the page with the most current updates and stuff will be the Valley View Estates POA.
Right, that's going to be the place where the POA directly provides updates, and then the neighborhood page is a good supplement for other things going on outside the POA.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
A little over a minute remaining.
All right. Anybody else have a question? There was a lot of information. Anybody else? Is she?
I do have a question.
Okay.
Excuse me, just 1 second.
Yeah.
Are any of the new houses that are being built going to be part of the POA?
Okay, that's a very good question. And I contacted our lawyer this week and had a long conversation with him. There is nothing in our covenants that state that anything that would be built on the golf course would automatically be included in our POA. So right now, the answer is no, they won't be part of our POA. That might be a discussion that we have, maybe later as the homes are getting built, and we would probably have to have a discussion with the developer. But, do we really want to take on an extra